Now, if you identify as someone who's all or nothing, who's either all in, doing really well, or completely off the wagon and doing terrible, then stay tuned to this video because you're going to find this useful. Now, this is a very common thing that I see. So people hold this as part of their identity, a part of who they are. They are all or nothing. They're either doing really well or they're doing terrible. And I can tell you now that this way of thinking, over the long term is destructive. Over the long term will not get you the results that you want with regards to your health and fitness. So you need to make a shift here. We need to make a shift. It's not black and white. Okay, it's not you're doing good or you're doing bad. It's not as black and white as that. It's see it more of a dichotomy that's got to be managed rather than it's completely like a binary thing where you have to label it as you're either doing good or you're doing bad. Let me explain what I mean. There's a reason why the tax system is never going to please absolutely everybody, and that's because it's a dichotomy that needs to be managed between being equal and being fair. Okay, so equality is everyone pays 10%. Being fair is rich people pay more. Okay, so this is something that's never going to go away. There's no right or wrong, and it's something that has to be constantly managed. So I want you to see it the same way with your food. Okay, you've got the food, the wholesome, healthy, natural food that you know you should be eating more of, the good food, and then you've got the bad food, which is all the processed junk food and chocolates and wine and all that sort of stuff that are labeled as bad. Okay, so realistically, we're never going to completely eliminate that stuff for the rest of our lives and never touch a drop of anything ever again. That's not realistic. Okay, so we've got to find a way to manage the dichotomy of them. The main goal is to make sure the most of your nutrients are coming from whole natural foods, and that's kind of like that's the track, that's the line, that's what we're aiming for. But every single time you do have something that's not aligned with that, you don't need to now condemn yourself and label yourself as being like, this is bad, now you're failing. That's going to be a destructive way of approaching it. See it more of like you've just come off track a little bit and you just need to correct. Be aware of how much you've come off track and then make a correction. So if you do overindulge one day, take that into consideration, and maybe the next day you do a bit of a fast, or make sure you have fewer calories on that day to account for the extra calories you had on the previous day. Okay, so to stay on track is eating whole natural foods, and every single time you come off, see it as like an airplane. So imagine an airplane goes from point A to point B. It's constantly coming off track, and the computer system is constantly bringing it on track again. Okay, as soon as it comes off track a little bit, the pilot doesn't go, oh well, we've come off track, and then just crash into the bloody ocean. Same as when you're driving down the road in your car, you're constantly making little minor adjustments to the wheel. Yeah, you may go on the little bumps or the little cat size, and you can feel that you're going off track a little bit. You realign and come back on track. Yeah, so see your nutrition and your training and stuff in the exact same way. If you've come off track a little bit, just keep pulling yourself back on track. You don't need to smash into a bloody tree every time you hit the cat size. Yeah, and be like, right, well, I'm off track now, boom, and then completely come off. Okay, so I hope this helps in just giving you a different way of thinking about your nutrition. Don't condemn yourself. Be more curious. You've got to become a scientist. If there's an issue, if you've got, you haven't got the physique that you desire, you haven't got the energy levels you desire, you've got to come up with a hypothesis, hire a coach, research stuff for yourself, come up with a hypothesis as to why that might be, acquire the skills and the knowledge that you need and the changes you need to make in order to achieve what you're looking to achieve. And then you need to focus on your character attributes, the discipline, the focus, your belief systems. But one of the main things is your belief systems around your identity, who you believe yourself to be. If that's not in alignment with what you need to do, then you're constantly going to sabotage yourself. Okay, so I'm just going to reiterate what we said. So instead of thinking about yourself as all or nothing, you have your ideal in mind of here's what I want to do, here's what's going to optimize my health and my energy levels. And then every single time you do something that's not in line with that, there's no condemning, there's nothing wrong with that. You've just drifted away a little bit. You just ask yourself how much you've drifted away, and then course correct and get yourself back in line. Okay? So I hope this video has helped you. If you found it useful, share it with a friend, and I'll see you in the next one.